Thank you, Rich Swann. That's right, folks. Welcome back to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, right here on the YouTube and the Twitch and wherever you get your podcast audio worldwide, baby. To my left, your right, Mr. Front Row Bill in the house. How you doing, brother?
Doing good, J-Bone. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. Completed my first week of work at the new job, and got a couple days off to kind of celebrate it and, celebrate that first big paycheck and just, it's a great feeling.
The big payday for the Bone Man?
Oh, yeah.
We came here for a lot of money.
That's right. And they shilled it out. They backed the truck up to the front door of the Bone Man. Tracy in the background going, oh my God.
Fair.
Oh, speaking of backing the truck up to the front door, let's say thank you right away to our first I can't even say it with a straight face now because I'm so full of it.
Dr. Gerbs,
thank you. Yes, the $10 super chat. Walking home from my first day at Train Battery low, so we'll have to catch up later. Violent J of ICP appears at NWA 75 on the corner of the Brothers of
Funstruction.
Not
destruction. Funstruction.
Whoop whoop. Juggalo and TNI fam. All right.
Whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. I'm not a juggalo per se, but hey, that's awesome.
The closest thing we can give you to a juggalo.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah, he's our scumbag. Good old Kyle. And we got Anna Reed with a super sticker here. Thank you. Thanks, son. Appreciate that a lot. And Paul asking me, he's hitting me with the hard questions right off the back. He goes, "What's the new job?" I can't say what the new job is. I can't say what it is. I gotta
what's
keep
in the box?
I gotta keep it a little private, I can't be, I can't be telling.
You can't be spilling all the tea everywhere, J-Bo.
Yeah, it's like boxers or briefs. No, some things you gotta keep under wraps,
Come on, J-Bo. There's only one answer to that question. Come on.
And that's boxers.
That's right.
Or nothing.
Oh, hey-oh.
What's that, babe?
It's not like you work for the CIA.
Oh, no. Of course, I don't work for the CIA, but for crying out loud, I got to keep a little bit of my life private.
You guys swing?
You work for the CRS. That's right.
I work for the CRS. Can't remember shit.
That's right.
Oh, God.
He's an expert in that.
Yes, that's right.
Which one's Jay?
Exactly. So, lots to cover this week. We got some updates on some shows, and of course, we're gonna cover tonight's show. And as you can see, it's just the two of us. Alisha has the night off. She's got plans for the weekend, so if she has time, she's gonna join us later. But we'll see. So.
Sounds like we should break in the song, J-Bone. A duet, maybe.
Oh, a duet.
It's just the two of us.
Just the two of us.
Can't do it. Go little Beatles. The two of us. Can't do any of this, J-Bone. It's not appropriate.
I'm not.
But do you know what is appropriate, J-Bone?
What is?
Come on, J-Bone. You didn't watch E.T. You're not a Beatles guy. Who are you?
I'm just I'm just my own man, Bill. I'm just my own man trying to make his way in the world.
All right. But J-Bone, you're the man that has the news, and the people want to know the news.
The news?
So we got to give them what they want.
We do.
We give the people what they want here at the TNI show.
Let's do it.
J-Bone's news.
Jiminy Christmas.
And now, hot off the presses from the TNI news desk, it's J-Bone's
Searching for my fake wrestling news.
No, it sounds like you're like right next to us, and then you're like doing a lap, and then you come around for another lap. He's flying around. All right.
It's like all the wrestlers that run around the ring.
Yes.
Sami Callihan.
Callihan, Jody Threat, Johnny Swing. Oh man, not so much Johnny
Oh, future world champion.
Oh,
Hold on,
That's
we didn't get the bite yet, J-Bone. I'm gonna do my technology. You ready?
okay.
What's the internet, Daddy?
Did you hear it?
Guy with Johnny Swingers to challenge.
Yeah.
What's the internet, Daddy?
What's the internet?
I feel like we coined that here for Johnny Swinger, and now he brought it to the world.
He did.
Oh, but we got a super sticker, J-Bone. The news has to stop.
Oh,
Bell's
all right.
boy.
We'll pause it for Bell's
Evening,
boy.
gentlemen. Well, this is also news.
Oh,
Evening,
geez.
gentlemen. Well, MJF called Adam Cole skinny. The WWE Women's Tag Titles are cursed, like our show. Speedball has a AAA title shot Saturday at Triple Mania.
Whoa.
Was that Care stepping away? Kyre stepping away?
Oh,
And Hawaii's on fire.
Lord help me. Hawaii's on fire. Wait, no, that's not how the song goes. Yeah, we certainly pray for all the individuals in Hawaii dealing with that. Thankfully, my favorite nephew is on a different island, and he is staying safe. He mentioned that in the live reaction. He's on Oahu. The problems are
okay. It was a typo.
yeah. I kind of thought he meant Kari. Yeah, Kari Sane. Yeah.
I'm the Ron Burgundy here. I read what's on the teleprompter, J-Bone.
He's you're so much more than a Ron Burgundy.
Hey, I'll jazz flute you, so you better watch it.
Oh my God. All right, so Bound for Glory. Now, because now you said it, now you can't take it away. You can't take it back.
What's that?
You mentioned jazz flute.
Mm.
We now have to set up the front row Bill concert. Bill does jazz flute.
Ooh. I'd be bringing that out of the now, I cannot confirm or deny my most recent experience on something like a jazz flute. May have been a recorder in second grade, but I think it's about the same thing, and the principles remain the same. So I can do it.
You think so? All right.
Yes.
Well, we're going to hold it to you.
Jazz,
for glory.
Hey, did you ever see the SNL with Ryan Gosling, the great actor from Canada?
I missed it.
And remember, he saved jazz when he did La La Land. He saved jazz.
Oh, he saved jazz.
So it's a mindset jazz. So if I got the right mindset, I can jazz flute anything.
I didn't know.
Maybe air jazz flute.
I didn't know it was in trouble.
That's exactly right.
My son plays it quite well. Anyways, yeah, Kari Sane is she's leaving New Japan, Stardom, whatever you want to. It's she's leaving that. She's reportedly on her way back to the WWE. Very interesting. A lot of people actually quite excited for that because signs are pointing towards she may get back together with Asuka. Something like that. We'll see.
Good for you.
But that's really not the news you guys came here.
Get to the real news, but thank you.
This is the real news. Let's do some updates on a few events here. Multiverse United 2, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Impact. I sound more like Tony Bennett on meth. Impact Wrestling.
Rest in peace, Tony.
And yes, rest in peace, Tony. Impact Wrestling and New Japan getting together for this event Sunday, Bill. Oof.
Sunday.
You gonna make this one? Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday.
I better make it. It's in my backyard.
It is. So you're tied to this no matter what. August 20th, Philadelphia, PA, Fight TV. Order it now. Let's go down the card and see what updates there are for us. We've got the Impact World Championship being defended by Alex Shelley. He's facing Hiroshi Tanahashi, the ace, if you will.
The ace. Love the ace. It's gonna be that's price of admission right there, J-Bone. I mean,
oh yeah. We've got now this is a bit of a strange this is a tag match. Is that what this is?
Are you talking about the X Division extravaganza, or are you talking about?
No. This. Okay, stars will be up. Multiverse Unite. Let me read this just so I know exactly what's going on here. Where Speedball Mike Bailey joins forces with IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi.
Oh yeah. This is the match that they announced first. Yes.
Oh, okay. So this is a tag match. Okay, because it doesn't. It's you look at the picture and you're like, is this a fatal 4-way? What's going on here? Okay, so Leo Rush and Trey Miguel versus Speedball Mike Bailey and New Japan's Hiromu Takahashi. Very interesting.
Will they be able to get along, J-Bell?
Oh, I would think so. How could you not get along?
I thought we were friends.
Exactly. Then we've got the Mighty Don't Kneel versus Impact Wrestling. So you got a tag team, one of the more formidable tag teams in New Japan. Zack Sabre Jr. and Shane Haste versus Eddie Edwards and Moose.
ZNA.
Yeah, that's that team does rear its head every once in a while, and when it does,
I like scumbags.
Well, we all know that Eddie Edwards is pretty much scumbag through and through. So yeah, nonetheless, some good tag action there. Interesting. It's more interesting that it's not Brian Myers. So maybe he's booked that day for something else. I don't know. Not going to overthink it. Next, this is one that was announced within the last, I think, 24 hours. Don't quote me on that, because I really hadn't.
About 24 hours.
Okay, so we got Sami Callihan from Impact Wrestling versus New Japan's. I don't want to mispronounce this. Is it Dookie?
I think
Dookie?
Look at this dumbass.
Thank you for the bits, Rayline.
I ate that
Team Twitch.
My God. Callihan versus Dookie. Now, I don't know anything. You know what? Let's just read this. A hard-hitting singles showdown has been made official for Multiverse United 2 for whom the bell tolls, as Impact Wrestling Sami Callihan, tougher and succotash, goes one-on-one with Dookie of New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Doki.
Doki. Not Dookie?
It was close, J-Bone.
Doki? Damn it.
All they're doing is confusing J-Bone by
I'm just
doing these.
And I'm completely sober, too. I can't get through this. A former Impact World Champion, we know that Callihan has all the tools to win on this big stage, including his trusty Louisville Slugger. Meanwhile, Doki.
Doki.
I thought I did okay in phonics.
There you go. It's like Loki, but Doki.
Yeah, but Loki doesn't have a U in it. Has taken his career to the next level as a member of the popular stable Just Five Guys. Wait, don't they make burgers? Anyways, when push comes to shove,
overpriced burgers.
Who will be damn Skippy? Who will be victorious when worlds collide in Philadelphia, PA? So yeah, I'm a little out of the realm of what's happening in New Japan right now. Like, I know who's champ. Actually, no, I don't. It's Sonata.
Well, the champ's going to be at Emergence. There you go. You know that, J-Bo. Come on.
Champ's going to be at Emergence, and they'll probably announce there what's happening for Multiverse. Now, who he's going to be facing, we got to wait and see.
Unknown.
It hasn't been announced yet. And then what they announced during the show today, or tonight, I should say, Junior Heavyweight / X Division Scramble. Scrambler. We've got El Desperado.
How do you like your X Division scrambled?
Oh my God. Mayo? M-A-O. We'll just say Mao? Mayo?
Could be Mao. Could be Mao.
Mao. Rich Swann, Bushi, Frankie Kazarian. Yeah, that one's easy. Kevin Knight and Chris Sabin. So you got some elder statesmen amongst some of the young up and comers in the biz here. So that'll be very fun to watch.
I love this match.
Well, tell us how you really feel, Sabin. Damn. So yeah, so that one is definitely shaping up to be a fun one. It's 9 days away. And it's $25 on Fight TV. So order it. Support both brands and watch some of what is probably going to go. It's going to be, sadly, it's going to be one of those shows that not a lot of people are talking about.
What?
But they're going to, the ones that are going to be talking about some damn good wrestling.
Yeah. I feel bad, like as Barry here says. There's some other company trying to do a show in London that day, but we know where really everyone's going to be watching. Impact Emergence, baby. No overshadowing that.
Is that the same day?
Oh, J-Bo, come.
Oh my God. I mean, I'm really looking forward to that UK show. I'm not gonna lie. Did they make any matches for that yet?
Maybe. That smash that podcast.
Oh, I haven't smashed that podcast in months. But anyways, yeah, maybe
is that a euphemism for something?
Yeah, maybe I'll have to make an appearance on there soon to see what's shaking on my own show.
Jacked up jukebox.
Yeah, that too. My God, where's it gone? Okay, and then what? Okay, I'm going down the events page here. Man, what a loaded year of stuff. My goodness.
Events.
Yes, it is.
How about that Impact 1000, J-Bone?
Well, I was gonna hit that last, but
Okay,
there
talk to us
is
about August.
There's Emergence. Let's talk Emergence, and then we'll talk about the 1000th episode, because there really isn't a card yet per se for the 1000th episode. It's more appearances, so we'll get to that last. Emergence, we've got Deonna Perazzo and Trinity going head to head for the Knockouts World Championship, which so far looks like it's going to be the headliner.
I would think so.
We got Time Machine and Josh Alexander versus Bully Ray Moose, Brian Myers, and Leo Rush. Hopefully everyone's healthy by then. What else is happening in Emergence here? There's going to be a special appearance by Sonata. Don't know if he's going to be wrestling. Would be great to see if someone.
Oh, I got to imagine he's wrestling.
I mean, it might be. We'll see. I mean, he certainly would have to, do a special announcement, I think, at least. Let's see. We've got the Knockouts Tag Championships on the line. MK Ultra defending against Shaw Taraj, the Coven, and Death Dolls. That's exciting.
Oh yeah,
and so
you saw that match made tonight.
Yes. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Killer Kelly's like, we'll take them all. It's like, oh, excuse me. Oh, really? Oh, well, all right.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. Oh.
Oh.
Impact 1000. 1000 episodes, Bill. My goodness. Team 3D reunites for the first time in 7 years.
7 years?
Now, I by no means think that they're going to be wrestling. I don't think, Billy Ray's obviously up for it. Devon, I don't think is up for it. But I'm sure somebody's going to be going through a table.
Yeah. That's what it feels like. Although in tag team wrestling, especially with how active Bully's been, you can hide in a tag match. Like, Devon could be just waiting for that hot tag to do a finish at the end and barely get in. So they could do a match if they wanted to. Oh, we got another super sticker from Bell's Boy.
Wow. Thank you.
I think Alicia's going to audition for Chelsea's Got Talent to be Chelsea Green's new tag team partner. Look out. I randomly saw this within the last couple hours that due to that injury, Chelsea, I guess, I don't know if that's just like an online thing she's doing herself or if that's actually going to be on TV. But I like the concept of like, here, impress me for being my tag team partner with your skills. So I like that. It reminds me of when TNA had everybody, all the managers showing Bobby Roode at the time their services, when you had Bobby the Brain and Sherry Martel all trying to win the services to manage with that Bobby Roode years ago. So I like that type of angle. So
nice.
Thank you, Bell's Boy. Bell's Boy will make sure you learn about all world news. I'm not even going to say just other wrestling news. He makes sure to get all the hot topics in there.
My goodness, that put us over the $50 mark of the show. Holy cow!
Not that J-Bone's counting.
No, not that I'm counting. It's just thank you for the love. Seriously, thanks you. We really do appreciate it. Mayor, on the other hand, talking about Triple H. I'm not sure where that came from, but I'd be.
Is he showing up for Impact 1000? Did you hear it here first on the TNI show?
What's Terra Rising doing in Philadelphia?
Oh, he'd have to go by his real name. What's Paul Lewasik doing in the Impact Zone?
Levesca. It's like he's French, right?
French.
Yeah.
Oui.
Oh. I haven't paid
Also
much
Americans.
attention to, yeah, and their phonics. My God. Yeah, I haven't really paid much attention to anything else. I'm way behind on my AEW, which I was really supporting for the longest time. I tell you, I've actually been watching a little more WWE lately, which is crazy.
Oh.
Not saying whether I fall asleep to it or not, but I try to stay awake.
I'm going to have to purchase a ticket for that promotion a week from tomorrow.
Now, which one is that?
Up north, because I got to get a Mania ticket for that Sunday.
Oh,
no one's going against them. It's local. I went to the 2 New York Manias over the last decade, so I got to do the Philly one, obviously.
You got to do Philly. And then
Saturday, I assume there'll be some indie shows, and I'll choose indie shows over that. Plus, WrestleMania, just like Wrestle Kingdom, sorry, New Japan, you shouldn't do 2-day events for your main pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I don't like it. Not a fan.
No.
So Sunday's that's the only day for their WrestleMania. I don't consider that other day is the pre-show.
Yeah. I hear you. Well, it all depends on what they put on the card too. You know, they try to
Doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Can't have multi-day pay-per-views.
I got you.
Bad concept, money grab. Treat your fans with respect and dignity.
That's right.
And that's all companies.
That's all of them. So yeah, and then of course I gotta hope for some place, you know, close like Minnesota for the next one, you know. But
I think there's rumblings about Minnesota.
Yeah, so I'll the only thing I'll have to do is drive across the state for 8 hours to go to Mania.
Easy.
Finally, J-Bone gets to a Mania. It's like a bucket list thing. It's like you got to go at least once just to say you went. Yeah. Get a nosebleed seat with the missus.
Yeah, that's why it's like if it's local-ish, then I'll go to it. But for the most part, I've been to enough. I'm good with it.
Yeah. What is this? Mystic Mac. Paul is another Kowalski guy too. Insert him.
I think we're getting this Paul Levesque to Impact Wrestling.
Oh my God. He's already got one foot in the door, barely, you know, according to some of these guys.
Hey, he's off the board. He's in Impact Wrestling, baby.
Tony Khan's just fell off his pile of cocaine. Who's a free agent?
Well, who would be a secondary promotion if Paul showed up here?
I think Paul's gonna.
Oh, it's funny, J-Bone. Anonymous here. This is the second time I've been asked this today. Someone else messaged me, slid into those DMs earlier, and asked me, will I get involved in this whole Team 3D angle?
Oh, boy.
The people are asking. For some reason, this seems like a topic of conversation. I'll give the same answer I gave earlier. If somebody makes it worth my while, I could definitely be involved in such an angle. I'm a mercenary, J-Bone.
Bill's services do not come for free.
Now, Tommy Dreamer it just has to ask. But we'll see.
Tommy's
We'll
special. Oh, my brother.
Testify.
Bill goes, what?
Me?
Oh, goodness. All right. Anything else from the news world that you know that I haven't covered yet?
Well, just because I think it's a great thing to hear. Negative but turned into a positive. Chris Bay recently said that he was thinking about quitting the business. Not that long ago. In the last couple years, but he Impact is kind of it made him he's loving it. He's loving everything about it. So that's always good to hear. People wanting to stick in the business. And there is, just like we said last week, sadly, about another Impact talent has been pulled from some bookings, supposedly due to injury, and that's Jonathan Gresham. So something to keep an eye on.
Oh, he's injured too?
Supposedly.
Jeez.
Seems like the injury bug. Now, is it an injury bug or is it Impact doing the right thing and maybe saying, hey, guys, we got some big shows. As we said earlier, a lot of shows in a short amount of time. Maybe don't do those indie bookings so close to those shows and risk getting hurt.
Yeah. That's smart. That's smart. You know, I mean,
yeah, I'm sure there was some kind of injury, but hopefully they're all minor and it's just preventative.
Yeah.
So I think that's about the news, J-Bone. I think we can get into the review for the fine TNI fam.
There's my infamous nephew getting silly here. Says, Uncle or Bill, how would H help Impact? Yeah, well, let's just hope he doesn't stick his nose into things. All right. So.
Oh, you went for the low hanging fruit, J-Bone.
I've been known to do that. It was cut and dried. All right.
As long as he doesn't do any backstage politicking, we might allow it.
Yeah. There's not enough water in the world that could satisfy that man. Impact for August 10th, 2023 starts
I can't
out
wait
here.
until this. I can't wait until this comes up, J-Bone.
Oh,
Victor
no.
here,
Oh,
letting us know J-Bone is the guy in the Joe Hendry segment with the OMG again face expression, I believe. Joe Hendry.
Really? Really? No, that was Justin. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Hold on. Let's see if that's really true. J-Bone, show your face. Let's see it. Okay. Now
I believe in Joe Hendry.
Oh yeah, that's an OMG face. That's an OMG again face.
What's he doing here? Justin's. Wait, what? You're talking about the guy that was backstage with the girl and something that they were having a discussion or disagreement about something, and then Joe Hendry showed up, and there's like, what's he doing here? No, I don't know.
We'll get back to it.
All right, so we're starting out here with the tag tourney, if you will. ABC.
Do you want to touch on BTI first, J-Bone?
Yeah, maybe.
I know you saw the match live.
I did. That was Kevin Knight and
Champagne Singh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I did watch that. I went live as that one was going on. I couldn't. That's how my brain goes lately. I couldn't remember if that was actually part of the show or if that was BTI or what. Well, and because like I'm trying to remember stuff, like, you know, as I'm watching the show, and I'm like, wow, why don't I remember half of this? Number one, it's from a different point of view that you're watching it. Number two, if anything was from like night one and they mix it all up, of course, between night one and night two, night one, it was a complete blur because I was so like, I enjoyed the wrestling, but it was so hot.
One of our favorites, Mean Gia, was commenting on how hot it was.
Yeah.
Are you wearing the headband because of how hot it was?
Oh,
it looks like fire, J-Bone.
Yeah. Well, it's actually to help match what I'm wearing down here.
Oh, well, Michael Myers.
Yeah, some new local Walmart fashion.
Little Haddonfield in the house.
Yeah. So, so Kevin Knight actually wins that one, right?
Yes, he does. Cheap champagne,
which is great.
Cheap champagne.
I
wanted to follow with a champagne chant, but didn't happen.
Yeah. I think I said something to the effect of more like a dollar store bubbly or something.
Is there bubbly at the dollar store?
No, not really. Probably someday.
Hey, it's Joe. Hey, Joe. Joe also a big. You've seen him in the front row at many Impact events. A lot of times he's been opposite the corner. But definitely, it's good to see Joe in here.
Good to see you, Joe.
Welcome, the TNI super fans in the chat.
We welcome them all. We do. But yeah, it was a fun match. It was nice to see Kevin Knight get the win. I wasn't expecting him to get the win. Sadly, it seems like he has these amazing matches and he does these phenomenal in-ring moves, but then can't come out with a win. It was nice to finally see, whether it's on BTI
solo
or
win.
what.
Yeah,
a solo win. Yeah, that's even more important. So,
and sometimes like the BTI, like I know it's not on the main show, but I did a flyby, J-Bone, yesterday with the TNI UK team on their show. So good work by the lads, Simply Steve and the Joker. It was great to catch up with them since their 100th episode all the way back then, J-Bone. It seems like it's been forever. So good to see them.
They're at what, 145 now?
Yeah, but we were talking about BTI because last week was the Heather Reckless Giselle Shaw match.
Okay.
And they were big fans of that. I was a big fan of that. The great thing, though, about being on BTI is you get a lot of time. And this match did get a lot of time. And it was definitely Kevin Knight's longest singles match in Impact. And you wouldn't get that on the main show. There's just not enough time for it.
Right. But yeah, it was great to see him get this. It was fun to hear the crowd just rip into Shira and rip.
They were all over Shira.
They were. That one. I apologize. I can't think of her name. She was a few seats down from Justin and I. She's always wearing the Rosemary.
Oh yeah, the face paint. Yes,
face paint. You could usually hear her quite audibly during the Cicero tapings.
Did she say,
"Is it Odark because he's also owes my money"?
No. And what's funny is she was commenting how it was so hot night one, she didn't want to wear that makeup. So she went with something a little more, dare I say, conservative. and she was wearing stuff more like what Jessica wears, with the
there you go.
Bright colors around the eyes and some lipstick and rouge and stuff. So yeah, that was fun. So yeah, she brings it loud and proud both nights.
See, J-Bone, you know what you're doing right now? You're giving the audio people, the people here live on the YouTube and the Twitch, they're getting an idea of the live experience because you were there. Don't forget to remind the people, J-Bone, you were at these shows. You've been at all. You got your season pass. You've been at all the shows. So you're telling what's going on in the front row. And I know a lot of people in the chat here have been lucky enough to be at Impact Live events. And that's kind of the things you get to see. You learn the characters, not just in the ring, but outside the ring.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And you meet people around you, and seeing as we're going to be there for several shows in Chicago this year, you see faces, you recognize.
Yeah, you get very familiar with the people near you.
You do, because there's a darn good chance you're going to see. I mean, sometimes they'll skip a show here and there. Like they'll go to one show during the weekend, but because none of these were for any special shows, it's just tapings. So
I love tapings.
Yeah, it's fun. They're unpredictable. They really are.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're going into. Like lately, they've done a better job of advertising a few matches for the live crowd, but for the most part, maybe 4 matches at best, but you don't know what you're going to get when you go into a taping.
Yeah, it's always a good time. It really is.
Yeah, Anna, who was at Chicago previously for Emergence. It was great to see you there. But yeah, sorry, obviously we didn't see you. We miss you. We miss you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's PTI. So then we start out the main episode with the tag tourney here, continuing, trying to get the number 1 contendership. We got OVE, the Death Machine Callihan and Rich Swann versus ABC, the Bullet Club, Chris Bay and Ace Austin. This was hard to watch because it's like, usually it's some good guys versus some bad guys. In this case, it was 2 teams where I really back both of them. So yeah, I wasn't going into this one picking a winner at all. Nah, it's like I'm just gonna kick back. Remember, I'm just gonna
go wrestling.
Just go wrestling. Yeah, root for the wrestling. Yeah.
It's been a bangorama.
What'd you think about OVE versus ABC?
Well, it was, you're right, interesting that they were obviously going against each other. But we've been seeing it, obviously, mainly with the ABC Bullet Club, the Rascals, and where they've been getting involved. And we see it again here. So now it kind of makes sense why they'd be facing each other, because great opportunity for the Rascals to interfere and get involved and cost ABC this match. And then obviously Sami Callihan not realizing it when he hits the cactus driver on Ace. He didn't know that he pretty much, Ace was served up to him on a silver platter. Yeah. And so you have still that face team not really turning in that match. It's all the Rascals' fault because they're rascally rascals.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And they're on the other side of that tournament. So,
and OVE needed the win. And obviously I'm a huge Bullet Club guy, but OVE, if you're going to keep the Swann and Callihan team together for the foreseeable future, they had to win this match.
There you go. Yeah.
ABC can take the loss.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, they're not losing nothing by losing this match. OVE, great to see Callihan and Swann get a win, because they seemed like things were really starting to go their way. Fulton came back,
And you know
Jake
what?
Chris came back.
I'm flipping it around because Justin here, he's talking about the good hands. It was the good hands. This tag tourney is so. You have both these teams interfering in matches. It is making me think the same thing because they're both kind of doing the same thing. Will they unite at some point? Because they're both just interfering everywhere. Didn't Santino have an edict in the back last week?
He had something, all right. So yeah, the good hands interfered in this one. OVE got the win. And definitely some shenanigans happening here. So we'll see what happens later on in the tournament. But nonetheless, still fun stuff. Then speaking of Santino, we see him in the back. He's with the Coven, and then gets interrupted by the Death Dolls because they both want a piece of the tag champs. And the funniest part of this was when the Death Dolls do their thing where they're like, hold on. And then they turn around and then they're like looking into the camera, looking straight up. And then there's Santino right next to him like, oh, hey, why don't you tell them this? And they're like, oh, that's a great idea, stranger. And it's like, it's not
this was a great segment.
Yeah,
this is the great comedy they can all do. And Justin's right. This is where the commentary is sold at. The Rascals didn't interfere; they were fine. That's what Tom was said during the match, and that's why I remember them talking about it. But then it was the good hands doing the same thing that the Rascals did.
Oh, so that's what you were saying. And what if they joined forces?
Yeah, because it's like they kind of just stood in for the Rascals in the interference game.
Somebody paid somebody to do something. Yeah. So then MK Ultra pops in the conversation, scares the crap out of the Death Dolls, hilariously, and says, we'll take them all. So if that don't sound like a classic Tommy Dreamer line from some little show out of Philadelphia years ago. I'll take them both. I'm hardcore.
Woo! That's right. And Critical Sting, this is the key. I was talking to the UK team about this yesterday. Crazy what you can accomplish with your women's division in a few minutes outside of the ring. Because, J-Bone, I'm sure you've seen some of this dirt sheet stuff lately about let's compare how much in-ring women's action each company has. 6 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Oh, the great 10-minute company. But like last week, Impact had the first opening promo of 15 minutes with Trinity and Deanna and all that.
Yeah.
They actually get the most TV time by a long shot, the knockouts. And once again, now this wasn't a long segment, but look how much this got over that match that they just made.
Oh, yeah.
Very memorable.
Impact consistently does a great job of getting a lot of their women involved in each show. Now, it's not every single episode. You know, there's
ones that they get more than others, but the roster's pretty big right now. Like, they still almost get everybody involved, including BTI.
So you're going to have backstage segments. You're going to have tag matches. You're going to have singles matches. You're going to have interviews. And across the board, they're always keeping them up in line with everyone else on the roster, which is so refreshing to see. So yeah, it's fun. I mean, I love different wrestling companies, and it sucks when you hear about there's tension in this woman's locker room, and there's tension in this woman's locker room. And so some of it you got to take it with a grain of salt because people just love making up news and oh, of course, there's bad things going on in this company and that company. So when I see that stuff, I take it with a grain of salt. But it's still hilarious that it's always AEW and always WWE. In all the years that I've been watching Impact Wrestling, I don't think I've ever heard, at least while exclusively covering it, either from my podcast or TNI, I've never heard anyone come out and say, boy, this locker room's really going to the shits. It's not.
Well,
it's
not under the Scott D'Amore regime for sure.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
And I don't know at times that the believability, but that used to obviously be a hot dirt sheet take for the first 15 years of this company almost, where it was always morale low. But no, under this one, like obviously there was some stuff during the Tessa run, but it seemed like the locker room was that was outside of Impact, honestly, whatever issues were being. It seemed like the locker room was actually all for everybody back then. So I don't think that was really the issue.
Right. Yeah, I wouldn't count that. Yeah. So, all right, but we continue here. So there's going to be, I guess you could say, fatal 4-way for the knockouts tag titles at Emergence. It'll be a lot of fun. Next, we get Bhupinder Gujjar versus Dirty Dango and Alpha Bravo. And
don't forget, J-Bone. Don't forget, Dirty Dango hates professional wrestling.
He hates professional wrestling, and it's like, there's people out there. It's like, well, then get the hell out of the ring. And of course, we finally heard that after this match, which was refreshing to hear. But let's cover this match first, and then we'll cover what happens after it, and then we'll talk to Oreo a bit here too. We heard her in the background. She's behaving herself so far. She's not being too crazy. Let's cross our fingers on that one. But yeah. So what do you think of Bhupinder versus Dirty Dango?
Well, once again, I've been a fan of the Dirty Dango gimmick, this new version of it. And obviously now with, as we like to call him, Alpha Bravo, out on the outside, he gets involved here. Bhupinder. So it's not a clean victory, obviously, for Dango. There had to be shenanigans by Bravo to get him the win. So I'm fine with it. I think like it didn't make Bhupinder look bad. Obviously, it's more you got to build up Dango from who we see comes out and addresses him, and that's that Jake something. Don't call me Hercules Hernandez something.
What? I've heard a few people, reference that he.
It's the haircut. It's the haircut.
Yeah.
Like that's a 91, I think. Hercules Hernandez haircut he's got, which is awesome.
I was gonna say
so different from when we saw him the first time around.
Hercules is the first thing I think of is when he used to have that big ass chain.
Oh yeah.
And then I know there was also a team at one point. I don't think it lasted very long, but there was
Power
also
and Glory
a team
with Paul Roma.
Power and Glory. Yeah. I don't remember.
That was good tag team wrestling back then, J-Bo.
Oh, that's where a lot of my love for tag team wrestling started. Now I'm too old to remember anything specific they did, but I know I loved it. The Killer Bees, the Rockers, oh God, there's so many of them. Demolition, all those guys. Too much fun.
I don't know if they'll ever compete with J-Bone and Bill from we have a tag picture, J-Bone.
Oh, yeah.
Behind you somewhere.
Coming. It's it's
absconded by all these figs.
it's up, yeah. It's all like a big red blur back there. It's there though. It's there. Stars in our own minds. But yeah, so Dirty Dango gets the win, but then I love that Jake something came into the ring, and this feels like the first like big thing that Jake something is gonna do since coming back to Impact Wrestling. And they keep talking about him like he's it kind of feels like when Trey came back, but different, So I'm hoping there's big things down the line for Jake something, that he's gonna be another homegrown talent, because he really hasn't been featured anywhere else as far as I know. If he has been, I haven't seen it. So
no, this is really going to be something to watch with Jake something, because I think a lot of us saw the potential, but remember we always talked about it. He had to go through that whole deconstruction and build back up, and probably the only way to really have a chance at it was a leave of absence and then a return.
Yeah.
And now is going to be the real test.
Yeah.
Now, J-Bone, I just sent you a little private message here on our good friend of the show, David Penzer, put this out. I didn't notice this during the show, but if David Penzer says it, it's got to be true. And it's big news, if you ask me.
Oh, my goodness. I was not aware of this. That's great to see.
We got it. Breaking news.
Trending. No, it's not trending above like everything worldwide, but
in sports. In
sports, yeah. Because I mean, there's some stuff that blows up so big it supersedes everything. But no, that's great. That is
Impact.
great to see.
Number one.
Why is
trending?
Why is Uma Thurman trending?
Are people rewatching the David Letterman Oscars monologue? Oprah, Uma.
The first thing I see is
people didn't get it back then.
First thing I see is a thing of Uma doing a whole lot of cocaine and Pulp Fiction. That's
where J-Bone goes.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. And the dancing with
Johnny T.
Yeah, John Travolta.
I sent J-Bone down a slippery slope. I blame myself for this.
Now I'm just going down Twitter feed looking at Uma Thurman bullshit. What are we doing here?
J-Bone has gone off the rails. He's just browsing the net, looking at Uma pics.
You'll be a woman soon. Thanks, babe. Thanks a lot. She said, "Kill it before it spreads," just in case any of you missed that.
J-Bo's getting the support on this one. His musical career is getting cut short.
Just for that, I'm going to keep you up late watching Pulp Fiction tonight, babe. Jeez, you don't like that movie? How can you not like?
I don't like that.
Oh my God.
J-Bo's a man on an island right now.
I am.
Zed's dead.
Zed's dead, babe. Who's Zed?
Bruce Willis.
Dead. Bruce Willis. Such a classic. all these stories intertwined. It's one of my favorite movies.
J-Bone. Let me tell you about this watch. Come on. Metamucil. Is it Metamucil?
Tell you about this. I had this watch crammed up my ass.
That's an everyday occurrence for Jay.
That is. I had to work this whole ship with this watch crammed up my ass. It's a horrible Christopher Walken imitation. Anyways,
we got a Justin with the super sticker. Thank you, Justin. This is for Mrs. J-Bone. So thank you, Mrs. J-Bone, for not liking Pulp Fiction. Justin, not a fan.
Justin Miller just donated $5. He says, this is for Mrs. J-Bone, except for not liking Pulp Fiction.
Okay, maybe he does like it. Oh, T. Hughes, the Penzer news was that Impact Wrestling was trending #1 in sports on Twitter. I know nothing else of a company trying to be like our great X division.
Yeah.
But Twitter. Yes.
Yeah.
Justin loves Pulp Fiction. He was still giving it to it, but he loves Pulp Fiction.
So there you go, babe. You get $4.99 out of this. You can go buy yourself a DVD. It's just something you can watch. I don't know.
All right, back to the show, J-Bone.
Back to the show. Next we got promo from Diener talking about EY, and he's just, man, Diener is, I was really curious to see where this was going to go, and it's so far this is okay. I'm okay with this. Diener's steadily losing his mind. He lost Alan Angels, and now all he's got left is Khan, and Khan will never betray him. So
never
ever betray him. So
he's got one guy. Remember, there used to be a whole crew with yellow hoods. Where are those guys at?
Where's everybody in the yellow sweatshirts? The yellow sweatshirt posse.
Guess they're all at the laundromat.
They're washing their yellow shirts. So yeah. So next week we're gonna see EY versus Khan. Can't wait for that one. I remember what happens. Not gonna say nothing.
No spoilers this week, J-Bone.
No spoilers. That was a mistake. I know I almost lost my podcasting job. Sorry. Trent gave me
one job, J-Bone. One job.
You had one job to do. Trent gave me 30 lashes with a wet noodle. I told him I'd never do it again.
Wait, did you say wet noodle, J-Bone?
Yeah.
Was it a wet noodle that those wet noodles?
Trent was making pasta and then he beat me with the pasta.
That's the harshest punishment there could be.
That is. It doesn't get much harsher than that. All right. Next we got Gia Miller backstage with Swinger.
Yeah.
And he's talking about she starts name dropping all these people. Simon Diamond.
Because she mentions Ziggy Dice, former tag team partner. He's like, tag team partner? Simon Diamond here. Where?
Yeah. So that was oof. That was an acid flashback. Then Kenny King jumps into the scene here with of course his buddy Sheldon Jeans, and talking about the DMC, saying that the DMC is bigger than the World Championship because, how did he say this? He said that digital media. He said this is about the internet, and the internet is like covers the universe
Everything.
or whatever. Yeah. Something about it being as big as the universe. Yeah.
It's a further reach than the world title. And you can tell it gets the swingman pondering, J-Bone. There's some pondering. He's like, bigger than the world title, Daddy? Bigger than the world title?
Yeah.
So then he has to ask, J-Bone. I played the clip earlier. He had to ask, what's the internet, Daddy?
What's the internet? He's still trying to figure out the damn beeper.
He's like, get Al Gore on the line. What's his internet gimmick, Daddy?
Al Gore's busy. Trying to keep Clinton out of trouble. So that's I don't know if that's going to lead Swinger facing Kenny down the line, but possibly at Emergence. We'll see. And we got Alisha Edwards.
Let's just say this, J-Bone.
Okay.
There's breadcrumbs right now. Breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
If Johnny Swinger goes for the DMC title and were to win it, was that not a storyline first heard on the TNI podcast many months ago, that it would be the greatest storyline? Like, to have Johnny Swinger potentially at least being a storyline, if not the champion, for the most not knowing it, digital media personality in all of sports,
right,
become the holder of such a title would be classic. It writes itself, J-Bo.
He doesn't even understand what the belt means, but he knows that it's bigger than everything out there.
It's a belt, Daddy.
It is. It's been a while since he's held the belt.
He might get a bonus in the pay envelope, Daddy.
Oh, gotta get one for the pay window. Yes. What's the internet, Daddy? Alisha Edwards versus Jody threat.
Ooh.
Eddie Edwards, of course, backing up his woman. They're so cute together, except for when there's shenanigans. Then it can't
ride or die, J-Bo.
Ride or die. This is a good knockouts match. I'm really starting to warm up to Jody threat. I feel like she has, how do I say this? I feel like she hasn't really placed her, put her stamp on the knockouts division yet. Like I could tell it's coming. Like,
still finding her place. Place in the division.
I feel like, yeah. And not that she has to be a part of something. I'm not saying that, because at first it was like, oh, is she joining the Death Dolls? Because that kind of looks like that could fit. No, that was just a one-off. So, but she's, she is practically undefeated. She's kicking ass. She's making fans. So it's just a matter of time, I feel. But she's good. I like her. She's not, she can't say that she's boring. She's always bringing it.
Bundle of energy.
She is, which is great to see. It almost reminds me of classic like Ultimate Warrior. He'd always run down to the ring, shake the ropes, That's what that kind of charisma reminds me of. It's not a bad thing. So, good match. Of course, Eddie can't help himself. He's got the kendo stick. He gets involved when the ref's not looking. Knocks down Jody. Frankie Kazarian comes down. Absolutely clobbers the shit out of Eddie. And then the match is match is pretty well over by this point. Jody gets the win, and Kaz is ready to just whoop Eddie's ass. And he's got his kendo stick, and he rears back and cracks Alisha and completely takes her out. Just boom, hits, stick hits.
Shot
Alisha,
heard around the world.
Alisha hits canvas. 2 shots. Boom, boom. And
it was like that baseball fight the other day where down goes Anderson. Down goes Edwards. You see that?
No, I missed that.
Oh, it's rare you see a baseball fight where a dude gets knocked out.
Oh, that's not good.
Caught a straight right hand.
Jeez. But yeah, so Kaz is besides himself, and security kind of takes him away, or at least separates him from the whole thing, as Eddie picks up Lish and carries her off. So this whole thing between Eddie and Kaz is far from over, and it 100%. Was all it's all. I mean, to be honest, it's all Eddie's fault. If he didn't interfere in the match, Frankie wouldn't have came down.
I don't know. When Kaz hits, he hit Lish with the kendo stick. I don't know if we can blame Eddie for that.
Yeah, but you gotta look at, like, in order the things that happen. If Eddie didn't interfere, Kaz wouldn't have come down. If Kaz wouldn't have come down, he wouldn't have inadvertently gone to hit Eddie and accidentally hit.
Respected the captain when they were teaming together. Maybe none of this gets out of hand.
Oh,
but I think the only way this can be settled, Jay, there's only one way to settle this. Mixed tag wrestling, Eddie and Lish, Kaz, and Miss Tracy Brooks.
Or Jody Threat.
Nah.
No?
Tracy. For some reason, her name still comes up too much after her appearance. I feel like there's Impact 1000.
It could be. It could be. It's not that far away. They could draw it out. We'll see. We'll see.
Gary here talking about that baseball fight. Jose Ramirez is ready for Impact Wrestling. Now, back in the TNA days, that's an angle they may explore, because they would do stuff like that, as like pick the people out. Johnny Fairplay.
Jeff Jarrett would absolutely go after that. Yeah. He's
BFG, settle the score.
How many guys did he like pluck from MMA and just the sports world in general to help? Whatever.
Hey, the crossover, man, that still works today in wrestling. I will never really rip the companies that do utilize that, because it does bring eyes, and that is part of what you're going for. You don't want it to be overwhelming and take away too much, but if it gets more people watching, that's the key.
That's the water cooler talk. Oh, did you hear about so and so from whatever team got involved on the so and so wrestling show? Yeah.
We know J-Bone was all about Dennis Rodman back in the day. You're like, Rodman's in the NWO? Yeah.
I watched a little. I mean, that's kind of when I got back into wrestling, and there was very little water, so to speak, water cooler talk at my work. There was me and like one or two other guys that talked wrestling. In fact, the guy that we hired got me back into wrestling, because he was telling me about the Monday Night Wars and stuff. So if it wasn't for him,
maybe no J-Bone today.
There'd be no J-Bone today.
What would J-Bone be doing?
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah, I don't know. I do not know. Wouldn't be anything Wouldn't be anything with this gimmick. All right, so but yeah, we'll
So
have to
now
see
we're
where
up to
this goes.
Deanna.
Yes, Deanna Perazzo. She's she wants to make an example out of Callihan King next week before her match with Trinity coming up at Emergence. So definitely can't wait for that one. Callihan King, win or lose, has been one of my favorites to watch.
No,
on this
very,
brand.
very improved. Her improvement has been, like, obviously, I think Taylor's been a huge help in that. But no, her improvement's been pretty dramatic. But she's going against the Virtuosa.
I am the f***ing greatest.
She is the greatest, and according to the critical sting here, it's confirmed. Rodzilla brought J-Bone back to wrestling. Yes. It was the NWO, brother.
Does Rodzilla have a fig? I gotta imagine he does, right?
Yeah.
Or because of NBA licensing and all, does he not? I don't know. Maybe not.
No, I've either seen customs out there or WCW did actually put out something from him. A Dennis.
I think that'd be pretty cool. I think with the wild hair, that'd probably be a pretty cool fig.
Oh yeah. I love the old footage. He comes out smoking a stogie, just not giving a hoot, just and there's Hogan next to him, just with the championship. Oh man, crazy stories coming out of that era. But yeah, definitely looking forward to Deanna Perazzo versus Callihan King next week. Next is what I would personally like to call my match of the night. Kushida versus Speedball Mike Bailey. What did you think, Bill?
On free TV? This was free? They gave this away, this match?
They gave this away. What was
match.
What was interesting was the discussion that was going on during the live reaction, and I apologize, I don't remember who asked it. Someone said, who's a better high flyer, Kushida or Ricochet? And I was like, oh jeez. I don't know. I'd probably have to give it to Ricochet.
He's more of a pure high flyer.
He is. Kushida is just a damn good wrestler. Does all sorts of stuff. A lot of submission.
Still, he does a lot of chain wrestling. That's not Ricochet as much. So
right. You don't
probably if you go overall wrestling skills, like Kushida would be very high, but pure aerial stuff.
Yeah,
I have to agree.
I almost have to go more. Yeah, do Bailey versus Ricochet. That'd be more
and Bailey does aerial, but he does so many strikes too. Like he's diverse. Like these guys aren't just flipping around for the sake of flipping around. Like, sorry, man. And there was, because I know obviously it was a big match years ago when it was Ospreay versus Ricochet. The match of WrestleMania weekend.
Right.
But now I'll give the hot take on it. Very athletic match. Was it a wrestling match? Maybe. A lot. Like it was too much.
It was
that's
very
where flippy stuff became. It was very choreographed. Like too choreographed for my liking. I think there's a time where you go, that's too much. And that was too much. Like it was a spectacle. It was something to see, but not my particular taste.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, and it's all yeah, there's people out there that are like, well, that's not wrestling and blah 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 blah. It's like, well, there's a lot of different kinds of wrestling, you know.
There
and
is.
it's
That's why you mix it, and that's why Impact does a lot of mixing. But that's why, like I just said, we're talking about Bailey and Kushida. They're just not high flyers. You gotta mix it around, and I'll give Ospreay credit. Like back then, that's all he was. But he rounded himself into more of a complete wrestler, which is
he had to because of his injuries.
Correct. Because we didn't even talk about that, but that's the main issue when you're doing all that is injuries.
Yeah, you can't go back to, you know, running 100 miles an hour. You gotta slow it down. It's what do they say? It's a marathon. It's not a
sprint.
It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So, yep. So, but yeah, Kushida versus Speedball, that was a lot of fun. And then,
big win for Kushida. Big win.
We got to take part in the photo op following. Was it following this night or was it night 2? I forget. But we got to hold the X of Kushida.
Yes.
So that was night 1.
It was night one. It was night 1.
Yeah. Because I remember I took the picture and I'm on the steps and I was holding it like a guitar. And Daniel Spencer, thank you for taking a picture. And then I went to go get my whatever the poster of the weekend. And
yes.
And Dr. Ross says, well,
where's
J-Bo,
the bandana?
Where's the bandana? And at this point, I took it off for the picture because I didn't think, you know, I'm like, I probably looked like some drenched rat with the bandana still on my head because it was completely soaked. So I just stuck it in my pocket.
It was hot in there.
It was, yeah. It was like 100 degrees is what it felt like. And Ross is like, oh, no bandana, no poster. So I take it out of my pocket.
Fair.
And I'm like waving it in his face. And he's like,
Woo! Get out of here, Bode Bad.
And of course, that was very upsetting to Oreo too. Yeah, she don't like that story.
She didn't like that story.
Oh yeah. No bandana. Next, this is probably the most interesting part of the show as far as actual discussion, besides the matches, is this segment here. We have Tom Hannafin sitting down for an interview with Crazy Steve. And Tom Hannafin's like, well, you actually asked me for this time. So, you know, what can I help you with? And Crazy Steve starts talking about how all of his friends seem to be going by the wayside and doing this and doing that. And Rosemary's gone. Now it's Courtney and Havoc's gone. Now it's Jessica. And Taurus is even doing other things now. And, you know, so where does this leave a guy like Crazy Steve who and this is the part where it gets dramatic, and it's like where all of his life he's had to deal with you know, opposition and such with his disabilities and, you know, being blind and whatever. And so it starts getting into the sticky side of the interview, and then it says to be continued. So, and I think we touched on this last week a little, but now this is like a deep dive into Crazy Steve. And I said this during the live reaction. This feels like what Tommy Dreamer did in his House of Hardcore company is he would do this with a few different wrestlers and sit down with them and do like little interview segments on little background things. And this was this on Flow Slam? I think this was on Flow Slam.
He got it in, everybody.
I got it.
Take a shot. Take a shot.
Take a shot when J-Bone mentions Flow Slam. But yeah, so this is when he was doing like the weekly, like 45-minute long show. There'd be a couple matches and then some backstage stuff. So yeah, and he did something similar to this with Crazy Steve, talking about his background, talking about being blind, how he came up in the industry. So it seems like they're kind of going back and doing a little bit of that, but it's more grounded in the company of Impact and the character.
You can go back to the throwback series. Mike Tenay sitting down with different talents. Remember the Sting? That went over 3 episodes, I think.
Oh, it did. And that was before he actually joined.
That was before he even joined. He was doing sit down. But no, this is what a whole avenue for Steve here to really like on obviously the main show, because where have we seen Steve mainly lately? BTI for the most part, and not on the winning end. But it's kind of like we talked about before with Jake, and it was with Man Folden, like the whole deconstruction and building them back up. But here you have Steve with this great place to sit down with Tom, the voice of Impact right now, and go over his story, which I know a lot of us know a lot of parts of it, but the general public doesn't really know.
Yeah.
So for this to happen, this is great. Like because I think we're all big Steve fans. I hope Alisha gets to watch this and get her opinion on it when she's back on, because I know she's once again a big Steve fan from all the way back to the menagerie. So seeing him get because this is going to result in a push for Steve. Will it be decay related? Will it be not decay related? That's obviously what we're going to find out. But I'm looking forward to it because Steve's been obviously through various runs over the years. He's been like a constant, even when not with the company. He always finds his ways back in, and seeing him get out like during the pandemic, we saw like he got in even better shape. Like he was like, and then they were doing the stuff out of like Nashville a lot, and that crowd was eating up Decay back then. Like they were over. But then obviously just like with anything, and you still get to bite his face off, but it was with anything else, you need to switch it up a little bit. And I think this is what's needed here. And I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. We get some footage of Subculture defending their Impact World Tag Team titles. Remember the name of the UK indie where it was Attack Wrestling or something like that?
It may have been. I'm not going to, but that is obviously some news that's been out there. Is they've been defending the tag titles over there. It was first, I think it was in Leeds, the first time the titles been defended over there. So great to see the more international spotlight. Although I know we brought this up previously, because this obviously also does bring the magnifying glass on the situation that we're having a tag tournament and the champions aren't there. Why aren't they there? And it's great that they're defending it, and that's good. I don't know if that was the idea, or was this because the original idea fell through? Because it still shocks me if there's possibly a visa issue and that the belts are on a tag team that didn't have a visa. That would be very surprising. And is that because it fell through? There was issues, timing, but that will be better going forward. Because obviously we know the next show's in Toronto, no issues there. Obviously they're being advertised for there, but there wouldn't be. So it's just post that. Hopefully Like, if they wind up losing the titles at those tapings and we don't see them again, I'm going to question this run a lot.
Yeah, something happens
as long,
somewhere. Yeah,
like they have to make their way and do some U.S. dates. So hopefully that's the case. But it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. But I do like the international aspect of it, because I always say,
well, sure.
Drew Galloway, when he was world champion years ago, and he was doing all those international defenses of the TNA title back then, that was huge for the company. That got a lot of different coverage. And obviously with the UK tour coming up, them going over there. So that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to be around for the not that they need to be champions, but they need to be on that UK tour after all this. So we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah.
But at least they're on TV. At least they're on TV.
There you go. Yeah, I just can't wait to see him at Emergence. We'll see what happens. Joe Hendry, then this segment was very comical, very very goofy. This couple is talking about, I forget what they were talking about, but then of course Joe Hendry shows up, and then Yuya Yamura shows up. Joe shuffles the couple away, and then he's sitting there talking to Yuya, and Yuya just keeps saying, champions. And then all of a sudden it starts clicking with Joe, like, oh, champions. Maybe we could be tag team champions. And then some new like music plays or something, and then it ends the segment. So I don't know. What did you think of this?
I thought it was amusing. I know this is where maybe that look was by that person was similar to a J-Bone look. But no, seeing them as because obviously they've been in storyline together for a while. So seeing them go after the tag titles, that seems like a natural progression for the long burning Joe heel turn.
Yes. We'll see. I don't know. I wouldn't mind them forming another like tag team. I mean, yeah, it's a hodgepodge tag team, but
The old hodgepodge.
They could work together. I don't know. It's a comedy act, so you got to be careful what you do with comedy acts. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm okay right now. I'm okay. I think they're not going too far into it, so we'll see. We'll see. But I think that so far I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Especially as we're getting in the multiverse, and I'm assuming there'll be an angle at multiverse.
Could be. Yeah. Main event time. Moose, Myers, and Bully Ray, wow, versus Taurus, Laredo Kid, and a debuting Samuray Del Sol.
In my ass.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened. There's no Samuray Del Sol because Leo Rush takes him out backstage, which leaves it to be 3-on-2. Which ended up being, as far as like wrestling, it was fine. The crowd was thoroughly still behind Taurus and Laredo Kid because it's Cicero Stadium. They love themselves some lucha, libre. So that was still over.
Yeah, I'll give credit to the fans because I thought when it became obvious he wasn't going to be in the match, that the crowd might turn and be like, hey, where is he? Where is he? We came here to see this guy.
Right.
But they didn't. So that was good.
Yeah. So, yeah, they still brought it. It did take the wind out of it, though. I'm not going to lie, because I was really looking forward to seeing Samuray Del Sol in this match. Because that's how you sell tickets, especially at Cicero Stadium. You put the
this is an
Lucha
interesting
Libre
one. Obviously, he
guys
was
out
there. Don't know if there was some kind of injury related thing or if the heat, because we know the heat was playing on people a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the issue was, but once again, they didn't advertise him for long, but for 2 weeks maybe going into the show. That definitely sold some tickets. So I'm hoping it was a pretty legit reason that he couldn't actually do anything in the ring. Because then it's like, well, is he even going to show up are we ever going to see him? So we'll see if we do, but that's not a good start. We know he was there from the segment, unless that was you wearing that mask, J-Bo.
Oh no, no, not me. I don't know what I would do underneath a mask like that. You probably wouldn't want to know.
Well, in that temperature, you'd be passed out. You might be on the ground.
Oh, I'd be. Yeah, they'd be fanning me. They'd be, dumping beers on my face. It'd be crazy. Yeah. So, but yeah, so that's there's no Samurai Del Sol in this match. The Moose and Myers and Bully Ray get the win, but then, I should say that it seemed like all was lost for Taurus and Laredo Kid, and then there's lights out.
Lights
and
out.
It's like, oh,
Samurai Del Sol?
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, well, is he going to come out at least do an appearance in the match?
That's what I thought.
Right, but then it's just lightning. It's just lightning.
Then I had an idea on what it could be, J-Bo.
Oh yeah. Well, the crowd got it before he showed up. The crowd started chanting PCO, PCO.
Oh, you
PCO.
see lightning at an Impact show? It's PCO.
It's PCO. So then lights come on. PCO's in the ring with Bully. Bully looks like he just crapped himself, which is hilarious.
That's just his face, J-Bo.
Yeah, that's his everyday face. But Bully's response following the match, and now they still get the win here. The Moose and Myers still in this match get the win. That's the part that's like, okay, PCO chases away Bully. That leaves a great opening for it to be even now, and for at least the Luchadors to get the win. No, Moose and Myers still get the win. It's like, damn it.
Well, come on, J-Bone. Who's got a new shirt on shopimpact.com? Moose and
PCO.
But he was gone. He was gone at that point.
He's dead. He's burned alive. Yes. Moose and Myers, yes, they were advertising their brand new shirt on shopimpact.com. Go get it. I like the fact that Brian Myers is wearing the black and the neon green, and Moose even has the black trunks with the neon green antlers on the moose on his rear end. It's like, okay, you guys, they're getting it together now. I gotta say that they're actually starting to look like a tag team. So PCO's chasing Bully out of the building. Bully's losing his mind with this. Absolutely,
Bobby Ray.
He can't believe it. He's like I set him on fire. Set him on fire. Set him on fire. He runs out of the building. And it's raining outside. Goes up to a truck, and it's occupied. Throws the guy out. We can't tell who he threw. I guess that'll always be a
So
mystery.
was that the same rain when we were at Tony's Diner?
That is.
Probably.
It is. Yeah, because it rained. It rained while we were in there.
It did rain while we were in there too.
It did, but it wasn't a torrential downpour like what happened after the show when we were driving in the rain and we were at Tony's and then we left Tony's and then, we're stepping in
and
6
J-Bone still is ringing out.
I'm still ringing out those socks from Chicago, brother. No fan is going to save those socks. They're going to drip from now until eternity. So.
And that's what they said about all the socks at the hotel we were at, right, J-Bone?
Oh, God, yeah. And all the mystery, we won't get into that.
Yeah, no good with what was under your desk or whatever.
Yeah, we won't do that. But yeah, Bully takes off. He carjacks the dude's SUV. Thank you, Justin. And PCO, of course, left there standing in the rain.
Seems to be a lot of crime in that city. J-Bone last time got his chips taken. Now Bully Ray's carjacking people. Trent,
it's
what's going
probably
on
it's probably all related. I mean, that guy that stole my chips it's probably related to Bully.
It's all Bully.
It all happened in the same neighborhood. This is a thing. And I'm gonna get to the bottom of it by Bound for Glory. I'm gonna get
J-Bone's
my
on the case. Are you gonna be like Sherlock Dango?
I don't know, but
put the threads together.
I'm gonna get my damn chips back. I'll tell you that much.
No, they might be extra crusty right now.
I saw that guy at the show too, and I was like, "Where's my chips?" And he ran out of the building.
He feared the bone.
I told Trent, I said, "Trent, there's the guy that stole my chips." He's like, my chicks.
You better watch out, J-Bone.
Of course, there's my wife piping in. Stole your what? Oh, last time you never go down to Shot-Town ever again. Oh, stop. Hell no. Come. Oh, I love you. my goofy wife. I love her. So yeah, PCO's left there standing in the rain. Overall, what did you think of this episode? Was it a soaking soggy mess, or was it okay for you?
No, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Obviously, you had PCO return. That's awesome. The lack of it helped fill the lack of Samuray Del Sol, who we were all looking forward to. But PCO is always great. So very good end segment there. Obviously, the Kushida Bailey match, that's on the show. You already got gold right there. And then obviously you're progressing some good storylines as we were headed, because there's a lot going on. This is not an easy feat right now with Impact's doing, with Multiverse and Emergence so close together. If I was in the booking room doing this, I'd be like, oh my gosh, pressure, a lot of pressure right now, because you got to put together a major live show and a major combined with another major company show that's also live. Yeah. And they're going to air within a week of each other. Lot going down. So a lot of pressure, a lot of storylines that you're tying together in a short amount of time. So I think they did a great job.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, thankfully,
were there some flaws? There was definitely they weren't all hits tonight,
right?
I would, but definitely the positives by far outweighed the negatives. So it's it's still, I still give it a 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up. Okay. Yeah, I liked it. I always, because I was there, I'm gonna go back to how I felt that night, and how I felt that night was I was miserable. It was so hot. I was, like I said, by the end of the
and I think
show,
that did affect it. A lot of the stuff, like I think that definitely affected some stuff because it was hot in there. Like you could see it. Like I felt bad. Like it felt like poor Allison was reffing every match in that heat. Like it's like, man, come on, guys, give her a break. It felt like she was out there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was tough. You could tell, like, it was probably stuff that didn't come off on TV. Like, I was kind of watching the Kevin Knight match from BTI, and there were definitely points of that match where Kevin did something where he, like, slipped off the ropes. So I'd have to go back and actually watch the BTI match to see how much of that actually came off on television, or if they were able to kind of, change a camera angle and it didn't look so. You definitely.
And that probably answers some of those things because there wasn't the greatest circumstances going on.
Did I say Kevin Nash?
No.
Oh, it's just Kevin Nash here. I'm like, usually if something pops in like that, it's like, oh no, I meant Kevin Knight.
No. You're good. Remember, Jay. Come on. There's only you and Kevin Nash only have one connection, and it's infamous.
Which one's Jay?
Well, that, and I did have. I mean, he's had about 50 more surgeries than me, but we could both say we had surgery on our knee.
There you go.
Yeah. So.
Well, you got to tear a quad a couple times, and then you're.
Oh no!
You can join the club. I don't wish it on you, but that's. You only can be one with Kevin Nash by tearing.
Oh, then I'd really be in the club. Feel like, wow, man, it's almost like we're cousins. He'd be like, what? Oh yeah. So yeah, as uncomfortable as part of this was for me being there, the wrestling was great. They did a good job on, like, hiding certain things. Like we're there, we see stuff live. We can see the reactions on people's faces because of the atmosphere, how everyone's feeling. And it didn't come off that way on TV, thankfully. At least I didn't think it did.
Well, some of us don't let those things affect us, J-Bone.
No, but I'm just like, a big baby when it comes to that. So where's J-Bone? He's in the front row, but he's in a fetal position on the floor. Somebody kick him, tell him the show's over.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. What am I doing here? What is life? All right. Thank you all for joining us tonight for this review of Impact Wrestling and all the news that goes along with it. To my left, you're right, Mr. Front Row Bill. Where can they find you, Bill? We haven't done this in a while. I usually just skip over all this now.
Oh yeah, like let's see. This weekend, PPW on Saturday in PA. Then next weekend will be the New Japan weekend. So Multiverse next Sunday, followed by the Junior show the day before. So definitely, if you're in the area, say hello. But on the socials, my name William M. Gardner on the Twitter, and on the Discord, Mr. Impact Wrestling on the Discord. J-Bone, where can they find you?
Well, typically, I usually say you can find me on the Twitter box at JBone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. But now, because Twitter is going through some changes, and there's some Elon guy doing something with the company, and now all I see is this X stuff. Do I have to say you can find me on the Xbox?
No.
I'm a little confused.
No. Now, if they officially call it the X Division, brought to you by Impact Wrestling, then I will endorse it. But as of now, because I think it's a fad, and who knows? Who knows? Who knows what it will be?
I'm barely on there as it is. You know, I tweeted out the show tonight for the first time in weeks, you know, just because I'm just not a social media guy like I used to be. You know, I realize I should promote this stuff. I'm just horrible at doing it. So
you're not wrong, J-Bone.
But
It definitely took a look. It's taken a turn. We already knew about parts of the wrestling community that could not be the best, but there's positives there too. It's just you have to. It's like Andy Dufresne in the in Shawshank. He had to go under. He had to go through a mile, multiple football fields of you know what to get to the other side. And the positives of social media, you have to go through a lot of crap to get there, Jay.
Yep. This is true. So, on that note, we're going to say good night. Thanks for joining us. Make sure on your way out, you smash that like button, you smash that sub button, ring that bell for notifications. Why? So that you know when more of our content hits your screen. Say good night, Bill.
Good night.
Later, folks.